Instructions in the dressing room. And I'll remind you of now, and this is very important, when I tell you stop, what that means is stop whatever you're doing, give me a clean break. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands all the time. Both of you gentlemen are world-class, championship caliber professionals. I expect you to act that way. Mr. Pacquiao, Mr. Bradley, let's do this.
Do it. All right.
One night, this incredible ride that Pacquiao's taken us all on, this devastating unbeaten streak in the heavier weight classes will come to an end. Can Tim Bradley make tonight that night?
Robert Byrd signals the official time. Keeper the bell sounds. Round one begins. All eyes on Pacquiao to see if he's ready for the fight or if he has been diminished by his personal transformation, as so many seem to be thinking is the case. Body shot for Pacquiao.
Freddie Roach predicted that Manny Pacquiao would not lose a round. He would win every round. I think it was a bad prediction then. I think it's even worse now as I look at it, because Bradley is making Manny punch and try to get him off balance after Manny throws his left hand and trying to counter punch. It's a very tough competitive fight at this stage.
Emmanuel, don't you think that Freddie's dialogue about winning every round is a way of urging his fighter to be ahead on the score?
No, I think Freddie really believes that. He said that he would dominate Marquez the last fight very easily.
Oh, that's true. He predicted he would knock Marquez down 6 times, and that was a faulty prediction as well.
Pacquiao, of course, not only has the hand speed, but devastating punching power that can equalize just about anything Bradley can do at any moment.
And, you know, he still, to me, is amazing. I have so much respect for him. He's really carried this sport to me for the last 8 years. He's been the dominant fighter that kept boxing in the headlines and never has dodged anyone. Has never even taken a retirement, a break off. He's fought everyone from 22 to 54.
And he's losing this round, the first of the fight.
What makes you say that, Max?
The times that I've seen a fighter clipped, it was Manny, except for one punch to the body that I thought Manny landed fairly cleanly.
What?
Minute 15 still to go in the round. Bradley's guard was up. This is once again conventional fighter against the southpaw, so look at the straight left hand down the pipe by Pacquiao and the straight right hand down the pipe by Bradley. More difficult in this instance to land their jabs, or at least that's the conventional wisdom. Bradley with a body shot under Pacquiao's left elbow. And another body shot there. Pacquiao lands his jab. Notoriously inaccurate with the jab.
He's getting out of it. But every time Manny throws his left hand, you watch he's getting out of balance. His left foot is coming out of balance. And that's what Bradley's planning on. He's taking time, timing him every time he comes in.
Watch the difficulty to see
there, every time he throws it, he's out of position after that. He's counter punching him.
Pacquiao so dangerous in exchanges. Even when the other guy seems to have the upper hand, he can put you on your butt in an eye blink. And at the moment, Bradley.
Hard left hand by Pacquiao down the pipe. Best punch of the round so far. Gets another straight left hand onto Bradley's jaw. 2 big pops for Pacquiao.
They're the best punches of the fight. He's won the round just off of that.
And another straight left hand. I told you to watch for the straight left hand. He landed 3 booms in the last 30 seconds.
And he won that round.
And won the round.
Yeah.
Come on, short. You can do this. You can do this all night. You win the fight. Throw him out. Okay? Every time he takes a step forward, you slide back. He's falling short every time. You're blocking the left. Really good. Okay? When he gets a little aggressive, all you have to do is get your angles, champ. Get your fucking angles. You got it?
Hey, good job, Tim. Go to that body too, okay? Go to that body over.
Every time.
We need speed. We don't need the lot of power.
He's young. Pagbitaw mo ba, Brad? Pagbitaw mo ng straight. Short lang.
Well, do it for a short straight.
Labas. Wow.
Then move back.
Ang bagal ng kalaban.
He's slow.
You ever see Manny land a straight left hand? Bradley didn't get back far enough. He was pulling out of range. Here he comes again. The same, almost identical punch, the same way.
That was the punch that launched Manny Pacquiao's brilliant career, the straight left hand, and it bailed him out in a round that it appeared he was not winning. He landed 3 of them in the last 30 seconds. CompuBox numbers in round 1. Pacquiao 11 of 42. Bradley 10 of 78. Interesting that Bradley threw 36 more punches than Pacquiao in the first round by CompuBox count.
I'm not sure those punches won the round for Pacquiao. They may have.
Another hard left hand by Pacquiao.
And Bradley has been open for straight lefts. That's his Achilles heel. And that's maybe Pacquiao's best punch. There it is again.
Body shots by Bradley. Pacquiao blocks the upstairs stuff. Bradley goes back downstairs and hammers to the ribcage.
But there
over and over.
And you're seeing the metal that got Bradley to this point. When he gets hit and hurt, he comes back.
Crowd didn't like the fact that Bradley had his left arm clamped over Pacquiao's right arm, and Robert Byrd didn't break them.
I was really surprised that Byrd didn't catch it, and he held on to his head a long time.
Indeed. Bradley was holding and hitting. There's another good left hand by Pacquiao. This time he swept it to get it around Bradley's guard.
Bradley did a little better job at that time of getting his glove in the way, but he better do a better job than that as this fight goes on. Because the difference so far has been Pacquiao can hurt Bradley. Bradley doesn't seem to be able to return the favor.
Well, we mentioned the difference in punching power, obvious from the fight statistics coming in. Pacquiao's been landing his straight left. I haven't seen Bradley try to retaliate with a straight right. There it is, and he lands one as he drives Pacquiao against the ropes. Pay-per-view main events in Nevada normally begin at 8 p.m. local time or shortly thereafter. This fight did not begin until 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. Why the delay? Number one, a decision not to start the fight until a professional basketball playoff game had ended. And then the bizarre circumstance of Manny Pacquiao for a lengthy period of time being out of his dressing room, without his gloves on, down the hall, on a treadmill, trying to get his calves to loosen up. Another left hand for Pacquiao.
You see Pacquiao's superior firepower, but in the face of that, you see what Andre Ward, super middleweight champion, told me earlier today, which is that out of over 100 amateur fights and all his pro fights, Tim Bradley was as tough an opponent, they met in the amateurs, as he's ever faced. As tough an opponent.
And that was at 147 when they fought.
He keeps coming.
One of the celebrities at ringside tonight, Reggie Bush, Miami Dolphins running back. You'll be watching him on Hard Knocks when it returns toward the end of the summer on HBO, and Reggie's Dolphins are the subject. 5 weeks, beginning August 7, Hard Knocks.
Okay, Brad.
Everybody around Reggie
Take it easy,
happy
not
that
too
they got to be on TV.
Alam niya straight ka. I-delay mo ng konti, ibabagal mo konti.
Take it easy, not too much. He knows you're gonna go for the straight. Time it up, time it up.
In and out, 1, 2, out, bang, main man isn't coming.
In and out, 1, 2.
He's gonna follow you wherever you go.
1, 2, tunak lang konti, atras lang konti.
CompuBox numbers in the second round. Pacquiao only threw 37 punches, but landed half of them, 18. Bradley 15 of 72. Pacquiao 12 of 19 power shots. Bradley still has not demonstrated that he can stop Manny Pacquiao's straight left hand. Straight right hand by Bradley landed to the body. Pacquiao nods and smiles at it.
I already get the sense that Pacquiao's going to have to separate Bradley from his senses to stop him from coming, and maybe he'll do it. But Bradley keeps coming, Jim.
Crowd is heavily favoring Manny Pacquiao. The chant you hear is Manny, Manny, Manny. There aren't enough Bradley fans here to mount a Bradley, Bradley, Bradley that would compete with that. Straight left hand lands for Pacquiao again. This time below the chin. Good left for Tim Bradley.
Bradley and Lamb, he don't have the power. Manny has much more power, but the main thing is Bradley's got to find a way to neutralize that one punch. That's all, mainly the left hand.
That's right, because Pacquiao isn't getting much done.
Not much.
With the jab or his hook. The straight left hand has been everything for him.
Everything, and he's really focused on landing that. But he has enough power that he can catch up ahead of anything that he's behind on simply by that one punch. Plus, in the fight.
And Bradley said he was concentrating on taking the left hand away from Pacquiao.
And he hasn't done it. That was another straight left hand on the chin.
Well, Manny is, you can almost predict in the head position of Bradley now. He's shooting the punches right where he thinks Bradley's going to move his head at, which is bending slightly to his right.
He's
to
trying.
Bradley's right.
Bradley's trying to neutralize it, but as many Pacquiao opponents find, there's really no way to prepare for his suddenness and his speed.
And as he ages, his timing. He's added timing to the arsenal.
Stop, I got you, stop.
Because he just doesn't throw as many punches as he used to. So he's not quite as dynamic. Body shot by Bradley and a good one.
If Bradley can survive these early and middle rounds, he'd be wise to put in that work to the body now so he can test Pacquiao's conditioning late in the fight if he gets there.
Bradley has never been able to land too much of a solid blow. I mean, he throws punches back, they're return punches, but they're not landing with their factors, except for a few right hands to the body, the way that Manny's punches there. See there, they're little fast punches, but no power.
Pacquiao's punches move Bradley. That's a difference.
That's the difference.
It is so far.
Bradley tried to duck. Pacquiao got him on the top of the head with the left hand. Right hand landed for Pacquiao that time. Bradley gets him back with a left hook. Pacquiao gets him with a straight left. And the way Bradley put his tongue out and mugged, you know that Pacquiao is bothering him with a straight left hand.
But there Bradley is throwing back at the end of the round.
He's gonna tighten up. The more he throws, the more he misses. He's gonna tighten up. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Hey, you're executing the fucking left really nice. I want you to keep doing that. Every time he shoots that left, I want you to lean down, but come up with something, baby. You know how it is. This fucking guy has a name. If you go the distance, you need to put up the extra work, man. You're doing really good. You're dominating his ass, but I need you to put a little more work on your combinations. That jab has to be doubled. Hey, followed up by the straight right down the middle. Okay, and we need to work the body a little more.
A night time in Vegas. High drama in the ring. Manny Pacquiao's landing nearly 40% of his punches. In round 3, he was 21 of 50. That's the highest number of punches he's thrown in the fight. Bradley was 13 of 65. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim, I've got it 3 rounds to nothing, 30-27, Manny Pacquiao. Jim, let me tell you something that I've observed in this fight, and that is Timothy Bradley doesn't move his head. And when you stand in front of Manny Pacquiao and your head is straight up in the air like that, just like you see now, Manny can't miss it with the left hand. Watch Pacquiao's head. Pacquiao bobs, he weaves, he's always moving his head, never stops moving his head. Bradley puts his head straight up, leaves it there, Pacquiao nails him with the left. 3-0, Manny Pacquiao.
And when Bradley does move his head, he dips it down, he comes up with his head. And referee Robert Byrd just said none of that.
Pacquiao trying uppercuts with the left hand. Now comes across the top, lands it again. Gets it a little left inside. Bradley trying to go to the body, gets in a couple of shots. Right hook by Pacquiao as Bradley was landing a body shot.
No, he doesn't have the power. You know, Manny's punches have about twice as much power.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Bradley's landing punches. He's fighting a typical, you hit me, I hit your back type, Bradley type fight, but he doesn't have the power on those punches.
Stop. Timothy, pick him up.
Pacquiao smirked after the headbutt. He smirked after the low blow. He seems very confident right now.
Smiling and laughing is Pacquiao as he continues to go at it with Tim Bradley. Has Bradley made a decision to try to crowd Pacquiao, Manny?
Yes, he is. That's what he's doing now. He's trying to crowd him and get inside.
Trying to take away the range on that straight left hand.
Manny punches good with range. He gets good leverage when he punches in. And Bradley's trying to shorten it up and take that leverage away where he don't have such a chance to warm up. I mean, to stretch those shots out.
Bradley really slapping with the hook in order to land it just then.
Manny doesn't respect the power of Bradley. You can see it in his face now.
And when Bradley throws several punches, he tends to let them go wide and wing it. Manny comes down the middle where his straighter shots sometimes get there first.
Manny's trying uppercuts for the last 2 rounds. He's trying to predict the way that Bradley's head is and trying to catch him with a left.
And he's predicting it pretty well right now. This is a Pacquiao flurry. The right hook lands.
Well, he's moving his head now to survive because he's hurt. He was badly wobbled there. Badly
hurt.
Another mark of the power differential in favor of Manny Pacquiao.
So what does Bradley do here? He doesn't want to run to just survive. He doesn't have the firepower to keep Manny off.
Bradley's trying to fight back.
Well, that's
a moment when it may
Big
not be
right
the
hand
best
from
idea.
Bradley at the end of that round.
He landed a right hand to punctuate the round.
Okay, hey, champ, we're in the fucking fight. We're in the fucking fight. You have 2 options. You want to continue? Yeah. Okay, let's go. Dude, avoid the fucking pain. Ignore the pain in here. Okay, forget about your fucking foot. We're gonna win this fight, man. You got this? Forget about your foot.
Here we see an exchange right now where they both were exchanging punches, and as I've said before, Manny is very good at catching people when they're in the exchange room because he punches and pivots back and forth very well. Nothing is landing clean except for that punch there. And it still didn't seem like it had that much of an effect, but I don't know whether Bradley twisted his ankle as he was moving away or whether it was actually hurt from the punch, or whatever it seemed like his ankle was hurt.
Well, you heard Joel Diaz say, forget about your blanking foot. And Bradley must have said something to him about it. Pacquiao, by CompuBox count, landed 31 power shots in the 4th round, including 21 in that violent flurry in the last minute. It's very hard to imagine anyone scoring that round for Bradley, and frankly, for Bradley to be 4 rounds behind at this point is very bad for him.
Yeah, especially not being a big puncher.
You also saw in Bradley, he mentioned before the fight, look, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down in flames. Pacquiao can put you on fire, and that's what he's done so far, but Bradley is still trying to win, which at this point in the fight, a lot of fighters wouldn't be. Of course, the harder he tries to win with those flurries, the more opportunities he gives Pacquiao.
That's the point. He was supposed to stay back and counter in some instances, or pressure and counter, but instead he's trading. And trading with Manny Pacquiao is a terrible idea if you are at a power deficit. Boom, another left hand. Bradley's straight right hand looked slow.
Pacquiao almost playing with him at this point with his guard up.
Pacquiao just playing with him just to relax. I am surprised that Manny has been able to land his left hand as easy as he has been with Bradley.
Trading. And now more retreating for Bradley. Pacquiao got in another couple shots. And the left hand moves Bradley halfway across the ring. And Pacquiao drives him into the ropes. These power shots have taken their toll.
Way too much power. I was very, very surprised at the power that he has.
So far, what's so impressive about this for Pacquiao is he has a real game-primed junior welterweight champion moving up, a real credible opponent, and he's outclassing him.
Manny Pacquiao loves this kind of fight. This is exactly what
Bradley does too. Bradley just doesn't have the power, but Bradley likes this type of fight too. And
here's Anna Pacquiao, along with Stephen Moyer, the stars of True Blood, which returns for season 4 tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern time on HBO. They're at every big fight now.
Water.
There's some True Blood in Pacquiao's mouth.
Okay.
Been a pretty bloody good fight so far.
Move. Here you see a tremendous left from Manny Pacquiao. It seems as if he just physically overpowered Bradley at this stage right now. And it's just a matter of time because Bradley has not been able to get any respect from Manny with any power at all.
That's Jinky Pacquiao's response to the big left hand by Pacquiao there. So round 6 begins. It's been very difficult, at least to my eyes, to find a round that Bradley could have won up to this point. Pacquiao has landed good power shots in virtually every round.
So far you see a good fighter against a great fighter, and that's been the difference.
Well, there were quite a number of media people here, ringside experts, who seemed convinced that Pacquiao wasn't going to be a great fighter tonight. But so far, this matchup is conspiring in his favor to a degree that practically none of us would have thought would be the case.
But not just a fighter, but just the physical strength is just amazing to me. I'm looking at how much stronger. It looks like natural strength, just the opposite of what I expected. Manny looks like about 10 pounds of natural strength, and natural size, and much more punching power.
And incidentally, if you look at their physical histories, it's pretty clear Bradley is by nature the larger man.
Yes.
As an amateur, he fought at 152 and 156. And when he, right now, is fighting at age 28 at 147 pounds, Pacquiao at age 28 was fighting at 130.
It was a nice exchange.
Clearly, Bradley's the bigger guy, but Pacquiao's the bigger hitter. That's clear also.
And also, Manny's got a much better defense tonight than I expected.
Manny seems to be taking the first 2 minutes off of some rounds, Emmanuel, at least to a certain degree, and then flurrying in the third minute of the round.
Yes.
And incidentally, late flurries in several rounds were critical to him getting the beneficial decision against Marquez last fall. It's something of which he does more and more. It's a minute to go. And this is what happens in the last minute, at least up to this point. Pacquiao tracking another left hand. Gets Bradley against the ropes and hits him 3 times with the left hand.
Smiles at us ringside and makes eyes as if to say this is fun. Pacquiao does.
Absolutely right.
Oh, good left uppercut
Good
on the
left
inside
uppercut.
from Pacquiao.
Great left uppercut.
Whatever it was that limited Manny Pacquiao last fall does not appear to be in the atmosphere tonight.
Water.
Don't follow him. Don't follow him. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you. If you hit him, that's it. Don't wait for it.
Here you see Manny's got Bradley in the corner, just landing a lot of punches, but particularly the right hook to the body was maybe the best punch out of that whole exchange in there. And it definitely had some effect on Bradley.
Well, we mentioned the last minute syndrome. Pacquiao landed 8 punches in the first 2 minutes of the round, 16 in the last minute of the round. Winds up 24 of 58. Bradley landed 10 punches in the round. Harold, how do you have it halfway through?
Okay, Jim, 6 to nothing, 60 to 54. Manny Pacquiao. Jim, you can't take it away from a guy that comes over and smiles at the announcers. But anyway, Manny Pacquiao did tremendous damage with that hard left hand. I mean, he just nails him with that left hand. And that's been the absolute determining factor in each and every one of these rounds. I mean, he does more damage by landing that left hand. Occasional hard right hook to the body. 6-0, Manny Pacquiao.
I mean, to be playing cat and mouse with Tim Bradley tonight just speaks at the age of 33, incidentally.
Again, Bradley choosing to trade with Pacquiao. And once again, that's a dangerous tactic against a guy who clearly has more firepower.
But, you know, this is the way Bradley's fought always. I mean, as an amateur, he's known for those exchanges like that. But he's with a guy that can punch, unlike anybody he's fought before as far as punching power. But that's the way he likes to fight.
Well, you know him pretty well, Emmanuel, and clearly one of the biggest assets he had coming into the fight, it was very persuasive for a lot of people this week, was his powerful self-belief and self-confidence. Where do you suppose that self-belief is now?
I don't think he has that type of confidence anymore, but he's still in the fight. But I think his confidence is waned after he felt the power of Manny. Manny was physically much stronger and more powerful than he ever anticipated.
I'm thinking of a conversation we had with Nassim Richardson when Richardson was in the Shane Mosley fighter meeting at last month's pay-per-view card. Somebody said something disparaging about Pacquiao, and Richardson said, listen, you can knock him all you want until he touches you. When he touches you, that's when you learn how special he is.
I mean, here's Bradley still fighting as hard as he can. I think what he has realized is throughout his career, his willpower has always been enough to overcome the other guy's talent, skill, whatever it is. Pacquiao's so good, sheer will doesn't seem to be enough, but it hasn't stopped Bradley from trying.
I don't think anything will stop Bradley from trying. He's a very committed person. And Pacquiao seems to be bleeding in the mouth and may have a cut tongue. So we'll see if that becomes a factor as the fight goes on. But again, they're trading shots. And that's exactly what Pacquiao wants. Bradley landing more punches in this round. I read it wrong. Pacquiao's landing more punches. And Bradley has, for the first time, a discouraged look on his face as he goes back to the corner.
Dude, look. Your foot fucked up in the second round, dude. You're in the seventh. Hey, you're good, man. Can you give me 5 more of these? Chat, come on. Fucking look alive. I am. Okay, look fucking alive. Let's go.
I mean, just walk him down, cut the ring off, okay?
That's nothing, relax. Relax.
But distance, hey, just slide back a little bit, man. All you have to do is slide back and counter his that. Okay? Let's go, baby. Okay? Let's go, Jack. We're almost there, baby.
Box numbers showing Pacquiao nearly doubling Bradley in terms of number of landed punches. In the last round, he landed 27 to 13 for Bradley. Now here comes round 8. Maybe one of the judges could have found a round here or there to give to Bradley, but so far it's been pretty close to a shutout for Manny Pacquiao, or so it appears to us. Emmanuel, if Pacquiao wants to more or less take the first 2 minutes of the round off, and it looks to me as though he does, Bradley hasn't done much to push him in this round.
Bradley can't do nothing, Bradley, because of the size. And also, Manny has a good defense, too.
There's the first headbutt of the fight.
Go.
But Manny's defense is where Bradley cannot penetrate.
It's just the talent disparity is such that Manny can take the first half of the round off with the first 2 minutes, not sustain too much damage, and then just take over and fight for a minute at the end.
Pacquiao got him a solid right hook, and now there's the straight left again. Bradley landed a right hand. He thinks for the moment he might have bothered Pacquiao. Pacquiao has a smile on his face. Perhaps indeed Bradley hurt him. But now Pacquiao drives him back again with a straight left hand. That was the first propitious moment in quite a while for Tim Bradley. That and one right hand that he landed at the end of a round a few rounds ago.
Pacquiao is breathing through his mouth now, and we are about to enter the last third of the fight.
And we're entering the last third of the round, where Pacquiao has done most of his damage in the 7 rounds up to now.
Punch it, get out. Punch it, get out. Let's go. Stop.
Tim Bradley's only scored 1 knockout in his career past the 6th round. Manny Pacquiao, throughout his career, has demonstrated a pretty good chin. There's nothing that's happened so far to suggest that Bradley's in any position to set up a knockout of Pacquiao. And the rounds are winding down. This was Pacquiao's least energetic round in a while, but Bradley did almost nothing to take advantage of it. Part of the change of life for Manny Pacquiao, for the first time ever, his 2 young sons come to watch him fight. Manny Jr. and Michael flanking mom, Chinky Pacquiao. Mom either with a stern warning or a stern question to her son there, or so it appeared.
Pull him, pull him.
Hook straight bang. Hatawan nimo, pag hook nimo, mababa siya. Uppercut, hook straight.
When he comes down, go for the uppercut.
Huwag masyadong mahaba.
Take it easy. Not too far. Don't extend too much.
Hata. Hook, flip hand, hata.
If Fane, he'll jab.
Okay, let's go.
We brought back our longtime Tagalog interpreter, Ernie Kalua, tonight, because we noticed last fall that Buboy Fernandez is talking almost as much or more in the corner to Manny Pacquiao than Freddie Roach does. And there's Harold Letterman's card, which is now 80-72. As even while seeming to take the last round off, Pacquiao landed 15 punches to only 9 for Bradley. And by the way, I should say Tagalog. That is the language that Ernie interprets for us. There you go. That's the fight right there. Manny Pacquiao launching and landing a straight left hand. Landed flush.
Whoa. Watch your head.
Another straight left hand between the guard by Pacquiao. 2 more punches landing on the inside.
Stop, I got stop. Yeah. Stop, guys, stop.
That shot was blocked. Pacquiao's gloves carefully guarding his face.
Both guys are
right
catching
down the middle
a lot
through
of
the guard.
punches.
What?
Both guys are blocking very well,
Yep.
except when they're in those wild exchanges.
Yep.
But other than that, both guys are doing very good on defense.
Yep. The difference is when Pacquiao gets one through the guard,
It's the power.
it does damage. That's exactly right.
It's the power.
Pacquiao slings the left hand over the top.
What must it be like for a champion of the world like Tim Bradley, undefeated in his prime? Catch a guy just at the right time, fight as hard as he can, and it's just not good enough.
And lose every round, which by my eyes is the case so far. 9 rounds in the books. In my view, 9 Pacquiao rounds.
I think in the view of most watching.
Hard rounds, but he's won them.
That was Freddie Roach's prediction.
But so far, I'll give Manny
You can
every
do
one
this,
of the
baby.
rounds at this
If
stage
you
here.
want to put pressure, I know what's wrong with your fucking foot. But you gotta move
So
your
far, it's a
shoulders
good prediction.
a little faster. Hey, you got bowing and waving faster, okay? And don't fucking drop your hands when you come up, please, okay?
Tim, he getting tired.
Trying to get you racing up.
He getting tired. You
Keep
can't let him
on
off the
racing
hook.
up, champ.
You can't let him off the hook, Tim.
Hey, we talked about it. Counters after counters, baby. Thank you. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. You're good, baby. Hey, almost, baby. 3 fucking more rounds. 3 more rounds, baby. You're there.
He's tired. He's tired.
He's fucking tired.
He's tired too.
Mark Wahlberg, big fight fan, and of course, you know, we saw him as the fighter. Has trained considerable time in the wild card gym with Freddie Roach. Power shots in 9. Pacquiao landed 22. Bradley had his best statistical round, 21 out of 52. Bradley 25 to 78. Pacquiao threw 94 punches in that round. Harold, how do you have it through 9?
Okay, Jim, I've got it 9-0, 90 to 81. Manny Pacquiao, he still does too much damage in each and every round with that straight left hand. I mean, the guy, he just can't seem to miss Timothy Bradley's jaw. He comes across with that straight left hand. And, you know, Timothy Bradley, you got to give him credit. He takes a heck of a punch, but even still, Manny Pacquiao nailing him with too many left hands. 9-0, Manny Pacquiao.
Tell you something else. Yes, Pacquiao's winning competitive rounds, and Bradley's very tough. But I get the feeling that if Bradley had a little more, Pacquiao would ratchet it up and also win competitive rounds. I don't get the feeling that Bradley's really coming close to winning these rounds. That Pacquiao is...
He's making them exciting rounds.
He's not making it tougher on himself than he has to.
And you've heard
Pacquiao,
Joel Diaz in the corner talking to Bradley about his foot and saying ignore it, etc. He has told others at ringside that Bradley has a damaged right foot, and he heard it somehow in the second round. They're using the term, it's broken. I'm not sure how somebody with a broken foot would be moving the way Bradley is, but the bottom line supposedly is he's compromised by his right foot.
Every fighter's dealing with something, right, Emmanuel? There's always something, a foot, a hand.
It's part of the fight game.
Yeah, probably Manny Pacquiao will tell us after the fight that his calves were tight.
And that Bradley was a very determined contender.
Now let's see if Pacquiao tries to fashion the last-minute rally, which has been his pattern throughout the fight. Good left hook by Bradley. Straight left hand for Pacquiao. Well, this is a round in which Pacquiao hasn't done much with 30 seconds to go, and Bradley landed a couple of good shots.
So far, Bradley's won this round, but he hasn't been able to do any damage. He did enough to win the round, Paula, but not really hurt Manny.
And interestingly, it's Bradley implementing the strategy we thought he'd implement from the beginning, which is trying to counter Pacquiao.
This would clearly appear to be Bradley's best round. Pacquiao's trying to come on now at the end, land one more big shot, maybe clean it, but the bell sounds.
right. We let that round go. We need enough punches, okay? There's more punches, there's combinations. You got 6 minutes to go, son. All right? It's your fight.
Come on. No pain. No pain.
Hey, you're a fucking warrior, champ.
No pain.
Here we see a situation which I think was the 4th round, which is where I believe Bradley hurt his right foot as he was doing all this twisting and pivoting, keeping up with Manny, which is one of Manny's specialty.
There you go.
And there it is when he twisted the right foot right there. I think that's what it's still bothered him possibly. But nevertheless, Manny is fighting his fight. Still, it's more that Manny just physically and too strong and too powerful.
The 10th round was statistically equal according to CompuBox. They landed the same number of punches. They landed the same number of power shots. Personally, I think Bradley got in a couple of punches that were better, and Harold Letterman agrees with us. Freddie Roach agreed, and now Bradley has broken the shutout, at least by our lights.
In a basketball game, the Eastern Conference Finals ended today with the Heat beating the Celtics. In a basketball game, a guy rolls his ankle like that, he comes out of the game, at least for a little while. But in the fight game, there's nowhere to hide. You gotta just fight with it.
There's no substitute to bring in. Incidentally, Emmanuel, I personally think Pacquiao's beard is a little bit on the full side, and if I were Joel Diaz, I might have demanded that it be shaved.
Yeah. But you know, that's a small detail, and I think Diaz is just not that type of a guy. And you know, Manny's always had that kind of mustache, beard, or whatever you call it.
Bradley's not a power puncher anyway.
Yeah, right. It wouldn't matter.
Straight left hand for Pacquiao.
Pacquiao threw that punch to end the fight.
Yeah, he was trying to knock Bradley out with that shot. Bradley's proven he's got a pretty decent chin. Makes Kendall Holt look good for having knocked him down in the 1st round.
Good chin.
And as he's turned the fight into this little kind of minor skirmishes and ambushes, he's done better over the last couple rounds. But too little, too late.
Yeah, Pacquiao came out in the early rounds and answered any questions about whether his new change of life would make him more docile as a prize fighter. He took command of the fight, he landed power shots, he won the rounds. Right hook by Pacquiao. Left hand by Pacquiao. 47 seconds to go in the round. He seems to be looking for a KO here in the 11th.
Both guys has great coordination and footwork. And that's why it's hard for anyone to land 2 solid punches in a row. Unbelievable balance on both of the guys.
Manny Pacquiao's footwork is unbelievable.
Yes, it is.
He gets to places no other fighter can get to.
And he's getting close with those home run left hands.
Yes, he is. Bradley, at the moment, decides his best defense is a good offense, lands a right hand. Pacquiao keeps coming.
That was a strafing shot from Bradley. And a good right hand to the body.
But another good round for Manny Pacquiao, who's landed several hard power shots. And with only 1 round to go, it seems to be a foregone conclusion.
You got 1 more round, baby. 1 more round, you gotta make history, baby, okay? Just relax. Take a fucking deep breath. Here's a mouthpiece, coach. Here's a mouthpiece. Hey, be smart. You got 1 round. You don't want to make mistakes in this fucking round. This is the most critical round of the fucking fight, the last one. Okay? We're here together, okay? Let's put it together now.
Okay, last round. Let's go.
Last round.
Right.
Kunin natin to.
Last round, gentlemen. Touch up, sir.
It's the last round. Let's get this fight. Just keep getting in. If he waits for you,
Pag umikot siya dito, bagsak dito, pag umikot, bagsak dito.
when he turns around, hit him with the other one.
Touch him up. Touch up. All right, let's go.
reach the final bell. It'll be the 5th consecutive Pacquiao fight to go the distance, and still we talk about his remarkable punching power. Bottom line is good fighters like Tim Bradley, if they want not to get knocked out, can do a pretty good job of avoiding it.
But I still think he punches good. I think Manny's still one of the best punchers in the game. He punches through his targets. Bradley's a tough guy, and after that, maybe a 3rd or 4th round, he hasn't been able to land solid on Bradley with 2 or 3 punches. Bradley's dipping, twisting, turning, moving, ducking, turning around, not getting hit solid with 2 punches.
I'll tell you something else.
See that?
Not only is Pacquiao moving Bradley more with his shots than Bradley moving Pacquiao, but this is the hardest I've ever seen Bradley throw punches. This is Bradley primed for the moment, throwing the hardest shots he can and not hurting Pacquiao with them.
Exactly. But you can't grow power overnight. You have it or you don't. And to some degree, it's a mystery why some fighters have power and others who appear as though they should don't. Emmanuel, to a certain degree, you just can't figure it out. Can
No, you can improve punching power a lot, but some guys are just born that way. I call it heavy-handed. Just
how about heavy calves?
Yeah,
Look at those calves on Pacquiao.
The biggest I've ever
Bradley.
saw in proportion to his body. It's unbelievable.
Well, there's no question that's where the power comes from. The driving legs, his ability to commit, his willingness to risk to throw those shots, all of it conspires to make him a great prize fighter.
One of the greatest who ever lived. Every generation has their guys, and this one, it's Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, of course, and hopefully one day we get to see that fight.
Hope springs eternal in the boxing fan's heart.
Meanwhile, Bradley's still throwing punches like he means it.
And winning this round at this point, in my opinion.
Just a tremendous performance against the game in his prime. Young champion, determined to win, never stopped trying, but outclassed.
Well, I guess Bradley's cornermen feel as though they might not be at this level again, so they want to pick their fighter up and carry him around. Pacquiao is on his feet in the corner talking with his guys. Bradley's still hoisted aloft. And let's take a look at the story of the fight in highlight form. And the caption here is Manny Pacquiao's straight left hand. One of the dominant weapons in boxing, perhaps the #1 offensive weapon in boxing over the course of the past 8 or 10 years. Manny Pacquiao's straight left hand, Emmanuel Stewart, dominated this fight.
But after the first few rounds, he never could land it consistently. You know, he could land it every once in a while, but usually, most of the time, Bradley was moving away from the punches. And he never could land it after these first 2 right here. The rest of the punches, he couldn't land just the way he wanted to. But he still did enough to win the fight and overpower Bradley.
Harold, how did your scorecard wind up?
Okay, Jim, I got a 119, 109, 11 rounds to 1, Manny Pacquiao. I agree with the graphic, with the clip that shows that straight left hand landing over and over and over again. That was the determining factor in each and every round. He would hurt Bradley with that straight, vicious left hand. Bradley couldn't knock enough power shots to hurt Pacquiao more. 11-1, Manny Pacquiao.
All right, Harold Letterman, take us through the 3 official judges who will score the fight very quickly.
All right, Jim, as I say, Dwayne Ford teaches all the other judges how to judge. Very solid choice here. C.J. Ross, she's been judging for a while. There's no doubt about it. She's been judging since 1992. But I don't know if she's ready for a major fight like this. A little bit shaky. Jerry Roth, very good judge. Had a tough time recently with Brandon Rios and Richard Abril, but other than that, he's usually pretty solid.
All right. Michael Buffer is standing by with the official results. Let's go to him right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand, we go to the scorecards. Jerry Roth scores about 115-113 for Pacquiao. C.J. Ross scores it 115-113 for Bradley. And Dwayne Ford scores it 115-113 to the winner by split decision. And new WBO welterweight champion of the world, the Desert Storm, Timothy
Tell you, I don't think we're blind. I think Harold Lederman is the best scorer alive, and I think that is a terrible, bogus decision.
I'm dumbfounded. I don't know what to say. I mean, just when they started off the 115 and 113, and I have no comment. I'm totally confused.
I'm as confused as anyone could possibly be. Chinky Pacquiao's reaction at ringside. Timothy Bradley has scored an upset split decision victory over Manny Pacquiao. God only knows how. Harold Lederman, you covered Dwayne Ford with glory. You talked about how he teaches the others how to score. He scored the fight for Timothy Bradley.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Manny Pacquiao was the aggressor all night. He walked him down, he set him up, and then he belted him with the left hand. I mean, you couldn't miss it. Timothy Bradley covering up, backing up, never really landed a solid shot that